together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. Just going to be me today as we have a full 13-game NHL slate. We have ALDS Game 5, Guardians and Tigers. I've doubled up on that game there. And then we have college football, which at the end of the show, I have a little segment here that I have typed in. So I do have thing. If you guys want to hear any college football games at the end of the show, just put them in the chat. We'll talk about them for a few minutes before we head on out. But we have a lot to get to, so let's quickly recap yesterday. It was terrible. It was not a fun day, to say the least. Went 2-7 yesterday. Just all the games that I really liked, doubled up on, tripled up on, completely fell on its face. Things along those lines. The Lightning won. That was nice. Plus 125 for the Lightning there. Good start to the Lightning, over 98.5 points, and the Hurricanes under 100.5 points. They win 4-1 against Carolina there. Maryland, and then I doubled up. I saw overs I saw Soderblom in net for the Blackhawks. Took overs in that game. Jets team total over, full game over, loser. And then Vancouver -1 was a loser as well. So that was kind of frustrating there. 1-3 in hockey, a little bit of a step back after finally a nice day on Thursday. Yeah, a bad day on Friday. College football went 1-1. Maryland -11. They lose by 27. That was not fun whatsoever. And then over 66.5 UNLV, Utah State. They did that, I believe, by early third quarter because it was 41-7 at halftime, and they put up another 20 points in the third quarter. So that game sailed over the total, even though the Rebels only put up 9 points in the second half. Sailed over the total. So that was nice there. I should have just left it with just the money line with the Padres and not adding on the team total over, full game over, because that made that game hurt even more. Padres money line loser, team total over loser, full game over loser, pennant loser, World Series loser. Just that was about as bad as that game could have gone last night. So the Padres close out their season with 24 consecutive scoreless innings, and they looked bad. And it was frustrating, but it is what it is. The Dodgers will move on to play the Mets in the NLCS, and those odds are already out. I saw this morning they opened up -180 and plus 160 for that series, and it is now 195 and 170. So no surprise, the public came in, hammered the Dodgers right away. Remember what they saw last night? Yeah, it is what it is. So we'll see. We'll head over to the chat, and then we'll get into hockey for today. Bunch of table tennis. There you go. My all-time. There you go. Over 6. Yeah. Lightning money line. Yeah. Vegas -1.5 was a loser. What was the score of that game? I didn't even pay attention what the score of that game was. 4-3 Knights. All right. So, I mean, the Blues +1.5 would carry. Gosh, there you go. 7-4 day. Table tennis carrying again. Yeah. Fade the Birds. Leafs -1.5. There you go. Well. Look who the Mets are facing. Yeah. I got lucky last night. My only bet that game was Higashioka for a hit. There you go. Only him and Arise were the two hits for the Padres. San Jose State money line. we will let me get up that real quick. All right, yeah. Here's what I'll do is I'm going to star for college football comments. I'm going to star those, and we'll get back to those at the end of the show, because I have a segment at the end of the show that we're going to do of NCAA games you want to hear about. So if you guys have any in the chat, I'm going to star. I'm going to hit the star for the what do you call it? I'm gonna star the comment so I can come back to it later in the show. So we got that. I want to see something real quick. Settings. Let's see. Is this advanced settings? Comments on. I wanted to see. Okay, I'll probably have to just go back and. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go through and look at this in between shows, because I want to see if I can get something. No. Okay. Oh. Let's keep going here. Yeah, but I'm gonna star those and come back to them later in the show. I then took the Flyers in the third period and just lucked out there. Yeah, that was frustrating to wake up to the Canucks -1 losing. First Saturday hockey card of the year. Yeah. What's good, Markel? Table tennis degenerate. Yeah. That was a pitching clinic last night. It was. Mets game 1 is a no-brainer. I don't know if I would say no-brainer, but probably would look in that direction, yeah. Ole Miss tonight, I will star that. We will go over that later. There we go. 16-2 Degen money. Yeah, there you go. What's good, ESPN chat? Good luck on all your tickets this weekend, as always. Yeah. We'll get into that later. I have those starred, so I can come back to them. I already have 3 starred comments, so we'll come back to there. I heard that. Well, there you go. This Tigers game freaks me out. The books have Scooble's K is only at 5. Is he dealing with something? I don't know if he's dealing with something, but we'll see. I played the unders in that game again. Tigers first 5 plus a half, under 3.5. Tariq Scooble 6 plus Ks. Coming in from a Michigan fan, I think OSU for the win. We will star that later for later as well, because I do have all my college football stuff. We'll talk about that later. So let's get into the show. Let's get into the NHL card. This is a game I'm kind of looking at here to get my day started. The LA Kings and the Boston Bruins. We have the Bruins -150 favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history. Line opened up 5.5 -120. It's now 5.5 -116. So it's a move towards the under here. -150 opening, now down to a 149. Taking a look at the cash flow. 87% of tickets, 89% of cash on the over. Lines moving towards the under, 81 and 81 on the Bruins. Lines moving towards the under there as well. And I know exactly the way people are going to try to think about this game right off the rip is that they expect goals in this game, right? I mean, the Bruins have played 2 games so far, and the only thing they've done is play double-digit scoring games, both games. 6-4 finals were both games. They lose to the Florida Panthers, and then they beat the Montreal Canadiens 6-4. Both their games have gone over the total. The Kings, this is their second game of the season. They're coming in off of a win against the Buffalo Sabres. They won that game 3-1, and that game did go under the total here. And one thing I want to take a look at, and I don't have the exact numbers for this, is what are the results of like afternoon action? I think we could see more of a sleepy start in this one here, and an under. And maybe the sleepy starts the first period under, not the full game under, because I could see this game being 3-2 late, and then they punch in an empty net and I get screwed, which the under 6 is it's a 6. Okay. Yeah. Under 6 -120. I can move on that, and I probably feel a little bit more comfortable there. This line moved 2 cents towards the over in the first period, and it's moved towards there a little bit. But I want to get my day started with an under in this game. I don't think this line's moved too much. Moved enough or it's actually moved towards the under. And yes, it's now up to a 6 on Bovada. So allow me to play it here. Under 6 for me to get my day started. Kings and Bruins under 6. Minus 120 is the way I'll get my day started here in this one. And then we will go from there. So under 6, Bruins and Kings here. I see this game as one where the Bruins step up defensively a little bit, maybe a little bit of a slow CP start after for an afternoon game. We see that sometimes. So under 6 for me here, Bruins and Kings. There we go. Skubal has hit over 7 Ks his last 20 starts. Yeah. Kings money line. There you go. This line tells me everything. Islanders OT, yes, later, because why not? Yeah, I could definitely see a draw in the Islanders game later. I think we can look a little bit more towards overs in Islander games. I think they're going to be a little bit more exciting this year. That line's already moved a little bit towards the over as well. So I think that could be an over game as well. We'll see. 3-0 on mortgage bets. There you go. NHL only on it. There you go. This has to be a Bruins smash spot. It's like a 7 a.m. LA time. Maybe LA is riding high from the Dodger win. You see it all the time. They were in Buffalo though, so I don't know how much we can read too much into that. They were in Buffalo, so we'll see. So they're already in the East Coast. My Bruins look lost on defense. Yeah. Memphis minus 8.5. Wow, that's gone up to an 8.5. We'll talk about that. I started that comment. Took the Bees. Bruins at home. Day games usually good. There you go. Under. Panthers minus 135. That's a tough game. Is that next? Is that game next? That game is next. We'll talk about that one next. I might need to see more samples of this Bruins team. Allowing 4 from the Habs was concerning, very concerning. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Thailanders. Yeah, I'm so confused. The Sabres game after Panthers lost. Yeah, I definitely like that. That's definitely a tricky spot. I definitely want to look into that a little bit more. Also, Stars minus 1. I kind of lean Islanders, but we'll get into that later in the day or later in the show. We'll keep it moving. Buffalo Sabres, Florida Panthers. Panthers minus 130 favorites. Total of 6 in this game. Let's take a look here. This line opened up at a 130. It's now, or 126. It's now 130. So we do have a move towards Florida. Line opened up 6 plus 104. It's not moved. We have 63% of tickets, 79% of cash on the over. 91% of tickets, 90% of cash is on the Panthers. The line has moved slightly towards them. So is that enough for of a line move for me to be concerned? Now, granted, I don't care about the market too much, but looking at the spot, the Buffalo Sabres, are they really going to get right against the defending Stanley Cup champions off of a loss? And ultimately, I don't know the answer to that question, and I don't want to bet to find out. Like this is a game that I think is pretty simply a pass. We look at the Sabres in their games so far. I mean, they played well against the Kings in that spot. They won the expected goal battle 4.22 to 2.68. So maybe there's some positive regression coming the Buffalo Sabres way, but is it against the defending Stanley Cup champions is the ultimate question. And I don't know. And I don't want to bet to find out in this game. I've already lost 3 times with the Sabres, and I'm definitely, you can mark me safe from betting the Sabres money line. I will not be on the Sabres today. The ultimate question is can we get on the Panthers at this number? I would only look in that direction. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna write down plays and kind of look at them after the card because I do have time before I have to pull the trigger on that. So Panthers money line with a question mark for me. I don't know if I'm going to get involved in that one or not. Alabama minus 12.5 first half. We'll get into that. I'll be going over those after the show. Same with Missouri. I can talk about that at the end because, as I mentioned, we will have a segment at the end of the show after baseball and after hockey where we will talk about those. So I'm starring every single one. So I can come back to it. I'm going Edmonton moneyline, Panthers moneyline, and Dawson UFC parlay for $500. Good luck. So hard to trust the Sabres team when they have to win at some point. I feel like for me, they need to win first before I go ahead and bet them. Is kind of the way I would go. Tigers and the Nerfy. Yeah, I do like the Nerfy just because I am on first 5 full game under. We will get into that game in a little bit. But yeah, I agree, Bailey. But after Panthers, the loss. Yeah, pass. I am 100% convinced this Tigers game is a Nerfy. I sure as hell hope not. I hope not. Yes, I took New Mexico versus Air Force. Can we look at that? Yes, I just started that. We can look at that towards the end there. Oh, no, I took the Nerfy. Okay, thanks, Nick. Yeah, I still don't know if these Panthers are informed. Beating Boston might have been easy because Boston sucks. Sabres do have more games experience. Yeah, for all we know, Boston could suck this year. And that would play really well into my Tampa to win the division future. So we'll see. We will see. I definitely do not want to rule anything out with the Bruins because the last couple of years I said they were going to regress and they didn't. So let's get into it here. We get a first game for a team here. The Washington Capitals have their season debut against the New Jersey Devils. This will be the Devils' 4th game. So we get a little bit of a rest versus rust conversation here. Line opened up at a 145 down to a 139 for the New Jersey Devils. Line opened up at a 6.5 plus 104. It's now a 6 at minus 116. Let's take a look at the cash flow where we had 35% of tickets, 81% of cash is on Washington. So the sharp money is coming in on Washington. I think we've seen Washington play well. And of course, covers isn't working today. That's fun. When I need covers the most, they're not going to work. So sharp money coming in on the Caps. 83% of tickets, 81% of cash on the over. Lines moving towards the under in this game here. Let's take a look what the Capitals are messing with this year because this is their first game, so we haven't had a true breakdown of this Washington Capitals roster yet. Let's take a look. As it loads. Here we go. The Washington Capitals did make some moves. It looks like Pierre-Luc Dubois will be in the lineup today. Dylan Strome will be on the top line with Andrew Montegiapani and Alexander Ovechkin. Pierre-Luc Dubois with Tom Wilson and Connor McMichael. Hendrix Lapierre with Alexei Protas and Sonny Milano. Nick Dowd with Taylor Radish and Brendan Duhaime. Their blue line will be John Carlson, Jacob Chikrin, Matt Roy, and Martin Ferravari, and then Rasmus Sandin and Trevor Van Riemsdyk. Charlie Lindgren will be their starting goaltender with Logan Thompson being their backup. Nicholas Backstrom and TJ Oshie will both start the year on the IR. I don't think Backstrom will play another game in the NHL. All right, cool. So I don't have covers working. Let's see if it'll work on this. On what do you call it? Internet Explorer, because it's not working on my Google Chrome, which is annoying. But let's try this and let's go from there. Covers.com. We have the New Jersey Devils. No, that's cover.com. Okay, this is the fun of doing stuff on the fly when sites start not to work. There we go. Covers.com. Let's see. Will it work for me on let's get into hockey so I can break these games down. This is the fun part of running a show by myself. Let's see. Moment of truth. As it loads. We have the Devils. They come into this game 2-1. They won the first 2 games of the in Europe, and they come back and play Toronto, and they lose 4-2. Of course, I was leading Toronto and under and didn't pull the trigger on either. So that was fun there. Is it not going to load? Yeah, it's just not loading. Cool. I just can't have anything loading today. That's fair. All 3 games for the Devils have gone under the total. They played two unders against the Sabres, and then they played a 4-2 under against the Leafs. Now, that game, I believe, was 4-2 with plenty of time for a potential over in that game. And now we have a total of 6, though, which, if you look at the 6, the Devils have gone under that, only the 2 Sabres games. And for me in this spot, I mean, I want to see more from this. I want to see a little bit more from this Capitals team. I do have them under their points this year. I do think they take a step back. They got a little lucky last year type of thing. So I would lean towards the Devils in this game if I had to get involved with anything. But it's a massive slate, and I want to see more from the Capitals before I move on their games. So it's a pass for me in this one. Let's see. My Bruins scare me. Yeah, but early, yeah. I have this rule called low-hanging fruit. I never take it, like the Nerfy in the ballgame. I don't know if it's low-hanging fruit because I'm almost assuming a Nerfy with a total of 5.5 is going to be like minus 200. So I don't know if we can really call it low-hanging fruit if it's minus 190 for the Nerfy. So Caps money line the over 6. Last year, Capitals owned the Devils. New coach and Hamilton back makes me lean Devils, though. Fair. Under 49, Central Michigan and Ohio. We can talk about that one. BYU, we'll talk about that one. Pass. Yeah. So I've got 10 starred comments now for quick breakdowns on it later. Let's get into the next matchup here. The New York Rangers and the Utah Hockey Club. Minus 195 for the Rangers. Total 6 in this game. My immediate thought was, damn, this is a wide line. I'm very high on both these teams, though. Line opened up at a 195. It got all the way up to a 220 before it's come back down, and it's back to a 195. Total opened up at a 6. It's still a 6 in this one here. We have the Rangers coming in off of a 6-0 win in their opening game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Utah Hockey Club are 2-0 to start the year. They beat the Blackhawks 5-2 at home, and then they went to Long Island where they won in overtime against the Islanders in a game where they were outplayed. They were outplayed in that game, the Utah Hockey Club, but they got the win. We have 92% of tickets and 87% of cash on the Rangers, with the line moving towards with the line not moving. There's been buyback on the Utah Hockey Club. 82% of the tickets and 83% of the cash is on the over here as well. And the line's not moved. And for me, I wanted the over a little bit in this game. If I was looking at a spot in this one, I do think this is going to be a Utah team that puts up goals this season. We saw that against the Islanders. We saw it against the Blackhawks. Both their games have gone over the total. I feel like this is a Utah team that we should be looking at overs with. And instead of looking at the money line for Utah, which I do think there's probably value on the money line here, I would lean towards maybe a team total over 2.5 in this game, which you can get minus 115. So I'm going to write both those down, which is Utah team total over 2.5 and Utah over 6. Those are 2 spots I'll look at. And I'm just gonna for the later games now, I'm gonna write them all down, and I'm gonna go after the show and I'm gonna bet all of them. So there's that. But if I'm betting this game, I'm looking towards the team total over 2.5 with Utah and the full game over 6 in this spot. They have been able to put up goals. Granted, it was against the Blackhawks, and then the Islanders. The Islanders are going to be a tricky team this year. I think they're going to be more overs because they're going to play a faster pace, and they have a better offensive lineup, the Islanders, this year. So I do think that we could see some more overs in their games as well. So I would look towards an over in this game and look towards a team total over for Utah here as well. Let's see. What's good, Robert? How about them Hurricanes? Utah, the hottest team in hockey. Shesterkin is going to have a Vezina contract here. Yeah, I can definitely see it. Logan Cooley point. Robert, I forgot to go over goaltenders for that one. So Robert, overtime. I could see it. Keller point. Logan Cooley point. Yes. Shesterkin wants McDavid money. Yeah. Who's in net? I mean, probably going to be Ingram and what do you call it? Ingram and Shesterkin. For the first game, it's going to be Swayman and Kemper. Lindgren confirmed for the Capitals. Markstrom expected or unconfirmed. For this game, Ingram and Shesterkin both are unconfirmed. Can we take all Florida teams in a parlay? Well, Tampa Bay doesn't play tonight, so we'll see. Shesterkin versus Ingram versus Shesterkin. That's what I'm expecting. Yes. Sup, bro? Gonna run Wild and Preds. I don't know yet. I don't know yet on those games. Gotta love to smash Edmonton tonight, especially after Hawks back to back and not that good. I don't understand why Edmonton doesn't get a goalie. Yes, yeah, they really should. The only thing is do they have the salary cap for a goalie because of the money they're paying McDavid and the money they're paying Draisaitl? They don't have money for a goalie is the unfortunate thing, or depth around him. Oh, Mark, what's the call for Edmonton trade? Yeah, they should have. Eastern Michigan, we'll talk about that one later, and same with Rutgers. Big step up in competition for Utah. Yeah, I do think the Rangers probably win this game, but minus 210 should not be their number, or minus 195 should not be their number. Are we going to get Bedard goal versus McJesus like usual? I hope. That would be fun, right? That'd be fun. Let's move to a game I've already moved on, did a free pick video on for it. We have the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Pittsburgh Penguins, minus 190 for the Leafs, total 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot, where it opened up at a minus 185, is now minus 191 for the Leafs. So we do have a move towards Toronto. Line opened up at a 6.5, 108, now 6.5, minus 110. So we do have a slight move towards the over as well. 70% of the tickets, 73% of the cash on the over. 86% of the tickets, 77% of the cash on the Leafs. The line's moving towards the Leafs here at the very least. And we have the Leafs coming into this game. Now they're 1-1. Both games have gone under the total for the Leafs, but I think this Penguins team is going to drag teams into overs this year. Just because you look at the makeup of that Pittsburgh Penguins team. I think that this is going to be a team that I don't know about scores a lot of goals, but definitely gives up a lot of goals. I think team total overs for their opponents are going to be worth looks and things along those lines. The Penguins bounce back after that humiliating 6-0 loss against the New York Rangers with a 6-3 win over the Detroit Red Wings. Did not expect the Penguins to score 6 goals in that game there. But I've already moved on the Leafs minus 128 last night. And it was pretty simple for me. I'm going to continue to fade the Penguins until they win multiple games in a row. Pretty plain simple for me. So there's that. I'm also going to look maybe towards adding a over in this game, maybe a Leafs team total over. The Leafs offense, they finally put up some goals last game. They put up 4 against the Devils. And I think this Pittsburgh team is going to be terrible defensively. Over 6.5, minus 117. Team total over 3.5, minus 135. I'm going to rate Leafs team total over, full game over, as leans at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to. I feel like I would lean more towards adding the Leafs team total over 3.5 rather than the full game over, because I trust the Leafs more to score goals than I do the Pittsburgh Penguins in this spot. So I'm feeling I'm going to add the Leafs team total over 3.5 in this game as well, but I'm on the Leafs minus 1 in this spot. Utah first period money line, I could see that. I like bunting over 3 shots. This Matthews line should break out tonight. Absolutely, they should. Crosby goal. Leafs minus 1.5. Fade the Birds. Yes. Stolarz is legit. I don't expect the Pens to score more than 2. Yeah, which is why I'm going to cross out the full game over. I think I'm only going to add the team total over for the Leafs because I expect the Leafs to put up 4 in this game. I don't know if I can trust the Penguins to put up enough in this one here. So I'm going to probably add the team total over for the Leafs and not the full game over. So that's probably the way I'm going to do it. Matthews, 2 points. I could see it. Domi over points. I could see it. We'll move on. We'll keep going. We have a big slate to continue to go through. Nashville Predators, Detroit Red Wings, both these teams coming off of losses, except for I backed one and faded the other. So line opened up at -113. It's now -125 for the Predators. So we do have a move towards the Preds here in this spot. Line opened up 6.5, -101. Line's not moved. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game here. 12% of the tickets, 67% of the cash on the under. Line's not moved. 38% of tickets, 38% of tickets, 65% of cash on the Red Wings, and the line's moving against them now. So they really don't care about they really don't care about the sharp money coming in on the Red Wings. They're moving the line towards the Predators here in this spot, and I kind of agree with that here. We have a Predators team. They're off of a 4-3 loss. I think they could put up goals in this game at the very least. And the Red Wings, I think when we look at this Red Wings team, and if they miss the playoffs, we're going to ultimately point at their goaltending situation with Ville Husso in net. I don't trust Husso too much. The backup situation for them as well. Cam Talbot or Ville Husso, pick your poison. I'll choose neither. I want to fade both of them. I kind of do like the Preds a little bit in this game if I'm backing a side in this one. And I'm going to write down Preds in this one. Preds money line, see, and take a deeper look into it here. Detroit is coming in off of an embarrassing loss, but Nashville coming in off of a loss as well. So that kind of cancels each other out in that spot. And ultimately, I don't know if I'm getting to this game or not, but it would be Nashville or pass for me is the way I would approach this game, is Nashville or nothing, which I think is going to end up just being nothing in this game for me. So Nashville would be the lean, but don't think I'm getting involved in this game at all. Warren Nick was good, untouchable. Preds money line, yeah. No Tim today. Nope. This Nashville team looks like they're still figuring things out. No Saros. I like the over. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I can definitely see over. I think Detroit will be able to score goals. So maybe I'll write that down. It's a 6.5, right? Yeah. It says 6.5. The line's not moved, but we'll see. I might look at the over there as well. Ryan O'Reilly goal, DeBrincat goal. I think this is definitely a good props game. If you're looking for props in this spot, I would, DeBrincat could be a good look. Tarasenko with Comfer, maybe Comfer on the second line there. On the Nashville side, maybe you see Steven Stamkos light the lamp. If you're looking for props there, he'll be on the he's on the second line. Maybe Tommy Novak props because he's on the line with Marcia Show and Stamkos. So maybe that Gustav Nyquist could be a look with Ryan O'Reilly there. Dante Fabro probably could be a decent look as well. So we'll see. Larkin or Raymond anytime goal, I could see that. Yossi assist, Nyquist assist. I think we're getting a lot of goals tonight. I could see it. I have a few overs written down. I think we start slow, and then the night games are going to be fun. Forsberg over shots on goal. There you go. Geez, Maryland ruined my college same-game parlay sweep. UNLV in the over. UNLV team total over. Maryland in the under. And then Sun Devils money line. Thank you, Sun Devils. There you go. Preds money line lean with Forsberg and Yossi anytime point. Maybe it's a team total over for Nashville too. We'll see. After Tampa's trashing last night, and Cooch getting a Hattie, I am starting to think Stamkos might have been the problem. I think they improved getting Jake Gensel to replace Steven Stamkos. So we'll see. We have the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Ottawa Senators. The Senators minus 155 road favorites in this game. That kind of surprised me to see Ottawa this big of favorites in this game. But then you look at their track history; they've won 9 in a row against Montreal. So this has kind of been a team they owned recently. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where we have this game opened up at a 125. It immediately went up to 140, and it's now 155. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 115, got up to a 6.5 for a split second, and back down to a 6, and it's moved 1 cent towards the over in this spot. And we have a Montreal team that they're coming in off of a loss. Yeah, they played a back-to-back. This will be, I think, their third game in 4 days because they got the day off yesterday, but they played Montreal and Boston, and now they play an Ottawa team. So this is it's not a great scheduling spot for Montreal. On the flip side, we have Ottawa coming in off of a win. They did beat the defending Stanley Cup champions 3-1. They do play a team they own, though, here in the Montreal Canadiens. I think this line is kind of telling, and the first thing that jumped off was how big of a line this was for the Ottawa Senators. 58% of the tickets, 88% of the cash on them, so the bigger bet's on them there. 88% of the tickets, 84% of the cash is on the over. This line tells me Senators win, and Senators cover the -1. I'm going to write that down. Sens -1 in this game, and I know a lot of people are going to look at this game and think that's way too juicy for the Ottawa Senators, and it may be. And maybe this is the time we fade the Senators. Maybe we back them as dogs and bet them as, we back them as dogs, fade them as favorites. But I think this is a bad scheduling spot for the Montreal Canadiens playing a third game in 4 nights. I think this line's this big for a reason, and this is a Senators team that has dominated this Canadiens team in years past. The last 9 matchups have gone the way of the Sens. I would only look Senators in this game. Senators -1 will probably be a play for me. Sens might be legit. There you go. Morning. Will we see a members card later? Is Tim still not posting those? I'll have to post them because Tim doesn't do them anymore. Took Sens in the over. Caulfield goal, Doc point, Suzuki assist. Montreal has always played Boston well when Ullmark was in net. I still think the Sens players have more talent and should attack the net. Yeah. I mean, we've been expecting the Senators to improve for years. Maybe Ullmark was the answer. We'll see. Ullmark, that's why. Yeah. Should be a ton of goals. I could see a Sens team total over because still when we look at Montreal, the one thing, if Montembeault's in net, I can maybe, that would maybe concern me a little bit. But I think this line's kind of telling. So I'll probably be on the Senators -1 in this game. But we'll move on. New York Islanders, Dallas Stars, -160, total of 6 in this game. Now, I'd like to go right back to what I was on for the Islanders game in the last one. Islanders team total over, full game over. I think there'll be value in Islanders games overs and team total overs for the Islanders because I think they are better offensively this year than they have been in years past. This line opened up at a 165, down to a 162, so we have a 3-cent line movement towards the Islanders. Line opened up at a 6 at -106. It's now a 6 at -112, so a 6-cent line movement towards the over as well. 69% of the tickets, 69% of the cash in the over. Nice. And then we have 93% of tickets and 85% of cash on the Stars. And the line's moving towards the Islanders. The Islanders have won the last 2 matchups against this Dallas Stars team. It was 3-2 in overtime in both those matchups. And I believe Bo Horvat scored the game-winning goal in both of them. So the Islanders play well against this Dallas Stars team. And they played they won in overtime. That was the first game with Patrick Waugh. That the first time they played earlier last year. Dallas coming in off of a 4-3 win. The Islanders once again couldn't hold a third period lead. And I think this is a team where live overs heading into the third period could be a very interesting look here as well because this Islanders team struggled to hold leads all of last year. I think the draw is probably in play for this game here. But I want to go back to what I was on last game with the Islanders, and that's an Islanders team total over and the full game over. And I'm assuming we can probably get a better number on this team total for the Islanders because they're a dog this time. So it's not going to be 3.5. I would imagine it could be a 2.5 at probably not a terrible price. So I kind of want to take a look at that real quick, see what that team total over is for the Islanders. I want the team total over. I want the full game over in this spot. I think we're going to see more overs in Islanders games, especially with Varlamov in net, because I do think this Islanders team is fielding a better offensive team as well. The over 6 minus 115. The full game over, or the team total over, is 2.5 minus 125 to the Islanders. I probably will be on that. So that's where I'm looking at this game. I could see 3-3 at some point in this one. If Montreal scores first, live bet the Sens. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Leafs had 47 shots, but they were not high danger. No, that's fair. I already know the play that I'm taking sweaty under and draw. Stars letdown spot incoming. I can see that. Stars minus 1.5. Stankoven goal. Wyatt Johnston goal. Stupid Padres. Hope we don't end up with both evil empires in the World Series. We'll talk about the World Series if it's Dodgers-Yankees, but I probably will not watch a single pitch of Dodgers-Yankees World Series. That series does not interest me in the absolute slightest. None whatsoever. None at all. So, Rope hint assist. I love Sway, but miss. Oh my, yeah. Where's Sorokin? He's a healthy scratch right now. I think he's still recovering from the back surgery, type of thing, where he's available to backup, but they're just not starting him right now. Barzell anytime goal. There you go. Smacking Edmonton in Florida. 5K bet. Get promo. DK. There you go. But we'll move on here. The Minnesota Wild and the Seattle Kraken. Minus 145 for the Wild. Total 6 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history here between Minnesota and Seattle. Line opened up at a 160. It's down to a 143 for Minnesota. So we do have a line move towards the Seattle Kraken in this game here. Line opened up at a 6 at minus 101. It's now a 6 at plus 106. A move towards the over here, under here as well. 53% of tickets, there we go. 56% of tickets, 58% of the cash on the over. We have 89% of tickets and 78% of the cash is on the Wild in this game. And I don't think this line should be a minus 145. Neither do the books. The market's moving on the Kraken here in this spot. This tells me the Kraken are a very live dog in this game, and I'm probably going to be on them tonight. I thought this game should be minus 120 for the Wild. Something along those lines. I think this line is stupid. I don't think the Wild are that good of a hockey team where they should be laying this type of number. I get it. The Kraken are a team that I'm higher on than probably most. And the Wild, I'm kind of iffy on. I wanted to take their over points. I wanted to take them to make the playoffs. Kind of got cold feet on that one there. Taking a look, who's the goaltenders for this matchup here? I keep forgetting to go over goaltenders. Montembeault and Omar projected for the Canadiens game. Talbot confirmed. Saros unconfirmed. Bobrovsky UPL for that game. Marc-Andre Fleury confirmed versus potentially Joey Decord, which is not confirmed. I'm going to be on the Kraken in this game most likely, and I will be betting them after the show. So Kraken for me. At plus, it'll be a slight dog price on this one. Seattle Kraken plus 120 for me will be the play in this one. Let's see. Edmonton goalie scares you. Yeah. Kraken's my favorite dog of the day. Love it. Give us Grimace, Max Hoctua on those Dodgers. I sure hope so. Wild money line. Eck goal. Wild in the over. Got it at 5.5 last night. There you go. I agree. Fuck LAD and the Yanks. Yes. Now, Mets-Yankees would be a fun World Series, but if the Yankees are going to make the World Series, damn it, I need it to be against the Mets because I will not watch a single pitch of Yankees Dodgers. That World Series to me is boring. I don't want to see it personally. McCann overshots on goal. Shane Wright anytime goal. Unleash the Kraken. Boldy assists. Unleash the Kraken. No, it's not. Guys, you got to get it right. It's not unleash the Kraken. Whoever says unleash the Kraken, it's obviously
release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken. Even the Mets and Dodgers battle of the payrolls. Yeah, the Mets payroll is a lot of dead money, though. It's one thing that I've noticed. So we'll see. Now we get two stupid, ridiculous minus 300 favorites back-to-back games. I'm not doing the minus 300 fade in hockey. I did it in baseball because, I feel like in baseball that's more of an edge. But let's get into it. We had the Colorado Avalanche and the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Avalanche minus 325 favorites in this game, total 6.5. Line opened up 330. It's down to a 325. Line opened up at a 6.5. I accidentally clicked off of it when I didn't mean to. 6.5 minus 125. It's now a 6.5 minus 120. Move towards the under here as well. 72% of tickets, 74% of cash is on the over in this game. 95% of tickets, 87% of the cash is on the Avalanche in this game. And for these next two games, I feel it's pretty simple. I have no interest in this game whatsoever. The Avalanche probably win. They probably cover the puck line. Do I want to lay $1.30 on a puck line? The answer is an easy no. Last year the Columbus Blue Jackets beat this Colorado Avalanche team as a $3 dog last year. So that was kind of interesting there. We have seen these two teams play. The previous to that, though, they were multi-goal wins, 3, 4, 5 goal wins by the Colorado Avalanche. It was just the one there. Both these teams, and we have Colorado coming off an embarrassing loss, 8-4 against the Vegas Golden Knights. And maybe this is Avalanche double result. If you're looking at the side in this game, first period puck line type of thing. First period puck line is plus 105. That's barely anything. But I expect Colorado to show up after that last game. Let's take a first. Maybe it's a Colorado Avalanche first period team total over 1.5 at plus 175. Asking them to get 2 goals in the first period. Let's just take a look here if they have double results for first period full game. Three-way minus 210 three-way money line. That's no fun there. Let's see, first period winner, end of 60 minutes regulation time. So we can get Avalanche and Avalanche first period puck line and Avalanche reg plus 145. I think that's worth a look as well. I don't advocate for minus 300 favorites, but when they are big favorites, I want motivation. And maybe this is first period puck line. Maybe this is first period puck line for the Avalanche. But do I need to bet this game? No. It's pretty simply no. So we'll pass. Bro, love the hard work you do. Thank you. Absolutely. Appreciate it. Smack the like. Yes, smack the like, people. Preferably would prefer an orange and blue World Series. Tigers and Mets. Yeah, I kind of want to see Mets Yankees personally. If I had to have my choice, because I think the ratings would be off the roof for that one there. I know this channel would get a lot of attention if it's Mets Yankees. So we'll see. Better value on Rantanen, McKinnon parlay if you think the Avs win. Yeah, probably. That's probably not a bad look either. McKinnon 2 goals, McCarr over 1.5. Avs team total over, which is unfortunately a 4.5 at plus money. Maybe this is. Let's just take a look at what this would be. Here you go. Colorado money line in the over 6.5. 2-teamer plus 131. But if we're having to throw together parlays and things along those lines to have value on this team, they're probably not worth betting. So McKinnon shot on goal ladder, middle stat point. This Columbus team needs some talent. Yeah, Unfortunately, they lost their top guy, which sucks. And here's the thing is we have two motivated favorites here in this spot because we have two teams that we know for sure will not overlook their opponents here. This is a matchup that the Edmonton Oilers have owned. They've won 6 in a row against this Blackhawks team. The cheapest they've been in any of those games, though, was minus 210. Let's take a look here at this spot where we have another humongous favorite in this spot. And maybe we just play first period puck lines for both these teams. Maybe that's just the way to approach it because I hate huge favorites. But damn it, if they're going to be huge favorites, I need them motivated. And what's going to motivate you more than a 6-0 blowout loss in your home opener? And then the Blackhawks are coming in off of an overtime game on a back-to-back. I think the Oilers jump out on them early here in this one. Once again, I can't get involved with the full game because the puck lines are stupid. But what is this first period puck line for the Oilers? I think, yeah, even money. I think Avalanche first period puck line and Oilers first period puck line are both worth looks. And I'm going to write those down as well. Avs first period -0.5 and Oilers first period -0.5. I know they're stupid prices, but this just feels like both these teams are motivated after embarrassing losses, and they have far inferior opponents that they are able to beat up on. And maybe for those interested, I mean, I don't personally play these, but never mind. It's -164 for Avalanche, Oilers, moneyline parlay. So no, that's a no thank you for me. For me, this is pretty plain simple. I would only play first period puck lines for both these teams. For the Avalanche and the Oilers, I don't want to fade these two teams that I think could be playing in the Western Conference Finals this year off of bad losses where they both lost by at least 4 goals. We have motivated big favorites. Usually I'd be like, yeah, let's take a shot with Chicago. Yeah, let's take a shot with Columbus. Not when the favorites are coming in off of getting embarrassed. So for me, it's Oilers first period puck line or nothing. And I think that's the way I would look towards it. And maybe if you don't want to play the first period puck line, team total overs in the first period as well, over 1.5, +1. I think it was +175 for the Avalanche. And in first period, team total over for the Oilers. Nope, that's third period. Where's the team total over? Team total +180. I feel like that's the way to approach these is take bombs with them and ask them to score 2 goals in the first period and not worry about what their goaltending is going to do. So maybe these are first period team total over 1.5. I got to decide how I'm going to approach those, but I think I'm going to bet both of them. Imagine the Oilers get shut out again. I don't see it. I don't, but we'll see. Blackhawks money line, psych, fair. Bedard goal, and if he doesn't, he's not him. Maybe. What's good, Nicholas Handy? McDavid 4 points. I could see that. Bedard over 2.5 shots on goal. Oilers money line +106. That's a good way to get it down. Oilers always have the weirdest starts. I can see the books robbing these oil workers' paychecks yet again. Yeah, it's just tricky. But they just feel like 2 smash spots, and that makes me a little nervous. So I don't know yet. Over first period puck line +1.5 for both dogs. I would take the -0.5 for the favorites. Fun fact, the Oilers are the heaviest bet team in the NHL. And maybe I just take the Avalanche on that first period angle then. We'll see. But these feel exactly like the Boston spot against Montreal. So we'll see. Avs -1.5, Edmonton -1.5 parlay. Yeah. BTE. By the way, Levi in goal for Buffalo. There you go. After Soderblom masterclass goals should flow tonight. I sure hope so. I got to figure out whether or not I just want to take shots on the team total over 1.5 for the first periods for both those teams. So we'll see. Because I don't like the 4.5 full game because I can see them finishing 4-1, those type of games. But we'll see. Anaheim Ducks, San Jose Sharks. This should be a fun and entertaining game at the very least. Let's get into it here. 2 young, fun teams that I think defense may be optional in these games. Line opened up at a 6 at -120. It's a 6 at -121 now. So a 1 cent line movement towards the over. It's gone from dog to favorite for the Anaheim Ducks. They open up +102. Immediately goes to -105. Then to 110. And it's continued to move to the Ducks up to -128. Let's take a look at the cash flow here in this spot where we have 80% tickets, 80% cash on the over. Lines move slightly towards it. 62% of the tickets, 59% of cash on the Ducks. The lines move towards the Ducks here in this spot. And this is the Ducks' first game of the season. Let's get into it. Let's see what let's go over what the Anaheim Ducks are running with here. A fun lineup is what this team should be. Leo Carlson with Alex Killorn and Cutter Gauthier on the top line. Robbie Fabry, Trevor Zegras with Mason McTavish centering the second line. Ryan Strome centers the third line with Troy Torrey and Frank the Tank Vetrano. And then Isaac Lundestrom with Brett Leeson and Brock McGinn on the fourth line. Their blue line is going to be where there's going to be difficulties. Jackson Lecombe and Rocco Gudis on the top line. Cam Fowler with Tristan Lunau. And then Pavel Mintukov with Brian Dumoulin. Their goaltending situation is going to be Lucas Dostal and James Reiner. John Gibson will start the year on the IR. The San Jose Sharks opened up their season with an electric game that went to overtime. It was a 5-4 loss for them here. And I think this is something we can kind of expect for the San Jose Sharks this year, is they're going to be a fun team, but they're a team, if you're going to bet them, it's team total overs. And that's the only way I would trust this San Jose team, because they're going to give up goals, but they're going to score goals. Is the thing. And now we're getting a dog price for them here. So maybe the Sharks team total over will be a potential play in this game, because I want to back the Sharks. This is the first game of the season and they've priced this perfectly for me not to bet the Sharks team total over. It's a -165. I think this game over 6 is a play for me. And I will write that down. Ducks over 6 in this spot. I don't trust the Sharks to win this game. I would only look towards their team total over, but it's 2.5 -165. So on the flip side, if we think maybe this is a spot where the Ducks come through, team total over 3.5 at +120, I think it's worth a shot for the Ducks, because once again, my main concern for this Sharks team is their defense and their goaltending. And would it shock me to see this game be 4-4, 5-5 type of game? Maybe you take some alternative overs. You can get over 8.5 goals at +350 in this game. I don't hate that look. I think I could see this game be 4-4 at some point. So plus 350, that might be a shot here. I think this could be potentially the highest scoring game of the day between the Sharks and the Ducks. This is going to be, I think, a back and forth defense optional type of game. So I'm gonna look towards the over in this game, and maybe it's an alternative over 8.5 here as well. I like Levi. I'll head back to the chat. Yeah, I like Levi. Soderblom for Vezina. I mean, after last night, yeah, jeez, I can't believe he did that last night. Over and draw. Ducks money line. Sharks look decent. They did. Cutter goal, McTavish goal. Is the over too obvious? Maybe. But at the end of the day, I mean, I think it hits. The Fresh Prince of San Jose, Will Smith goal in there? Maybe. Ducks in the blood orange jerseys as an eyesore. Should have brought back the Disney colors. Yeah. Reimer's still an NHL goalie, well, yeah. He's a third stringer for Anaheim. That should tell you everything you need to know. Celebrini over 1.5 points. He did that in the first period yesterday, or last game. Over 6.5, yeah. Granlund assist. Celebrini's first goal was such a fluke, yeah. Supness, what's good, Lex? Cutter over 1.5 points. Could see that. Easiest first NHL goal for a rookie. Didn't even have to shoot it on the net. Yeah. Bruh, I like the Kings money line. I'm on the under 6 to start the day there. 30 plus bet club for you today. Yeah. Yeah, it will be for sure because I have 2 plays in the MLB and I have 23 in college football already. So, and that doesn't include all the plays I have written down that I would like to add for hockey today. So, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plays I would like to add in hockey. So, and we'll move on to the final game though. The Calgary Flames and the Philadelphia Flyers in this game. And I believe this will be Fedorov for the Flyers in this game, the what is perceived as their backup goaltender. But and if it's Dan Vladar in net, I have no interest in the Calgary Flames as a favorite in this game. Let's get into it. Line open up 123. It's a 125. Line open up at a 6 and minus 115. It stayed there. We're expecting Fedorov and Vladar. Neither are confirmed. 90% of tickets, 88% of cash on the over. The line's not really moved. 82% of tickets, 76% of cash on the Flames. The line is slightly moved in this spot here. We saw the Flames get off to both these teams have gotten off to a good start this year with overtime/shootout wins against the Vancouver Canucks. The Calgary Flames won 6-5 in overtime against the Canucks on the 9th. They were down 4-1 at the end of the first period, came back and won that game. The Flyers were down 2-1 heading into the third period yesterday. They tied it up, won in a shootout, 3-2 over the Canucks. And now they play it back-to-back here against Calgary. It would be Calgary or nothing for me. I don't really want to mess too much with Vladar in net. I want to see more Dustin Wolf if I'm the Calgary Flames this year. I don't think this is a year the Flames are going to compete too much. So I want to see I want the Flames to see what they have with Dustin Wolf and if they want to continue to go with him going forwards, which they absolutely should be wanting to go with him more. So I would only look Flames in this game. I want if Wolf is confirmed, I'm going to write down Flames money line need Wolf. Yeah. If it's Dustin Wolf, I'll back the Flames probably to end the night here. But if it's not, I have no interest in this game. So it's a pass for me at the moment. Definitely not looking Philly on a back-to-back after a shootout last night. So I would only look Flames in this game. 2-game parlay, Bruins money line, Tigers money line. Good luck. UAB spread in the under. Why in the world would Army be minus 10,000? I just started that. We will talk about that in a minute. Flames money line. Over and draw, Connor Zary point. Flyers apparently still own the Canucks, whether they're a garbage team or not. It's quite strange. It's annoying, yeah. They will start Wolf. Darth Vladar is 1-0, though. Yeah, but it was in spite of him. He gave up 5 goals. So, no. No. But that is the entire NHL card. Let's get to the one baseball game here as we have Game 5 of the American League Divisional Series, the Detroit Tigers, them gritty Tags, taking on the Cleveland Guardians. Let's take a look at the line history here. Got to move this over to baseball. There we go. Let's shift that over. Let's do the same with Action Network so we can get the cash flow in this game, in this spot. And let's just get started with, I've already doubled up on this game. And if you've been following me this entire series, you know exactly where I'm going in this game. I'm on the first 5 under 3. I'm on the full game under 6. In this one here, this line opened up at a minus 130 for the Tigers and immediately went down to a 120. Okay, so it opened up at a 120, and now we're seeing minus 110. So we have a move towards the Guardians in this spot. Line opened up at a 6 at plus 105. It's now a 6 at plus even money. We even saw 5.5 this morning over on Bovada. And for me, I would lean Guardians in this game. And I get it. It's Tariq Skubal. He's already seen him a few times, though. And even though I do think he pitches well in this game. Skubal, in his last start, went a masterful 7 innings against this Cleveland Guardians team, giving up 3 runs, no hits, 8 walks, 7 strikeouts. And here's the thing. It's a back-to-back. They just faced him. It's Tariq Skubal, though. Like, if this was a mediocre pitcher, I'd be a little bit more worried about the back-to-back. On the flip side, Matthew Boyd, he went 4 2/3 against this Detroit Tigers team. In his last start, gave up no 1 runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts in that matchup as well. And it's pretty plain simple for me. The Guardians do hit lefties pretty well, but it's Tariq Skubal. And the Tigers do struggle against left-handed pitching. And I expect Matthew Boyd to come out here and be able to pitch well in this game. So I am on the first 5 under 3. I'm on the full game under 6. Gun to head for a team, a side in this game, it would be Guardians or nothing. Would be the way I would look in this game. If I have to bet a side, I would look towards the home team here as a dog with the Cleveland Guardians. But for me, this is first 5 under 3, full game under 6 for Cleveland and Detroit in this one. Pittsburgh Panthers. That's Georgia Tech and West Virginia spread. I just started that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Tigers money line. I'm not touching this game. Go Tigers. Nerfy in first 5 under. Yes, Ramirez has over 300 versus Skubal. If you want to look at props, that would be the way I'd look. Meadows over bases. Current Tiger versus ex-Tiger again. Yes. If Kwan and Fry get on base, I can see Jose putting one in. Yeah. The Earle over bases as well. But that is it for that. We will now, I have all of them starred here. Let's talk some college football. And let's see. I'm going to quickly go over these because I have 14 comments starred. So let's go back here. And if there's any other games you want to see here, let me know. Let me get up my card for today. San Jose State. Who do San Jose State play in this one? They play Colorado State in this matchup here. My numbers have San Jose State as a 2.5, 3-point favorite in this game. I have Colorado State money line written down as a lean for me. Was not one of the games I bet, but I lean the opposite way on that one. Ole Miss, I moved on Ole Miss. My numbers have Mississippi here. Where's Ole Miss? Ole Miss, I have them as 5-point favorites in this game. I got in at -3 and -125 for this game. I like the Rebels in that spot. San Diego State money line. Let's take a look. Who do they play? San Diego State. They play Wyoming. I took Wyoming in this spot here. I have Wyoming. I had the wrong team, or not the wrong team favorite. I got Wyoming at -120 in this game. I have Wyoming around a 3.5 point favorite in this game. So seeing them at a -120, I pulled the trigger on Wyoming in that game. So Cowboys for me there. Coming from a Michigan fan, I think OSU for the win today. I am on Oregon +3 and the over 54.5. I think both offenses are going to be able to play really well in this game. And at the end of the day, I think Oregon wins. So I took the points in that one there. Memphis -8.5 is the line for it now. I got in at this game at 6.5 in this spot here. And I played the over here as well. And I got over 61.5 in this game. I think this is a Memphis spot here. And at 8.5, I'd probably pump the brakes. I was lucky enough to get them under a touchdown, 6.5 and -120. At 8.5, I probably would not play that. But this South Florida team, I think, is a fade at the moment. They've given up 95 points the last 2 weeks. And I think Memphis can do kind of similar to what Tulane and Miami did to them. So maybe at this point, maybe instead of laying 8.5, maybe it's a Memphis team total over in this spot. Maybe that would be at 8.5. I would lean Memphis team total over rather than the spread. Alabama -12.5 first half. If I'm backing Bama, it would only be in the first half. I got South Carolina full game at +21.5 and the over 50 is the way I played that one there. Missouri. I did bet this Missouri game. This one goes off in 20 minutes. I got under 54.5 here with Missouri and Massachusetts. I think this is a great spot for Missouri to bounce back and cover. I would lean towards Missouri covering the spread. But for me, I think this is more of a game where we see Missouri do what they did to Buffalo and Murray State to start the year, where they won 51-0 and 38-0. I took the under 54.5 in this game instead of the Missouri spread because in my eyes, I don't see them scoring more than 10 UMass. So I see that more of a -34.5 now rather than a or I see minus 33.5 rather than a minus 27.5 or something along those lines. I see Missouri covers, but I think the under gives me a little bit more leeway because I don't think UMass scores. New Mexico versus Air Force. Can we look at that game? What a bum fight that one is. I had this game lined at a 6.5. I did not move on it, to be completely honest. I think there's better games on the card. Both those teams have done nothing good this year, so I don't really want to mess with either. Under 49, Central Michigan and Ohio. I lean chips in that game. That would be the way I would look in that one, would be Central Michigan. But once again, not a game I got involved with. BYU. BYU is a tricky team. They're coming off their bye. They're playing Arizona. I've seen a lot of love for Arizona now that it's down to a 3. At a 3, I would only look BYU, but once again, not a game I felt the need to get involved with. Eastern Michigan, I got them at 3. I got Eastern Michigan plus 3 in this game at minus 125. This has been an Eagles team that's been covering every single week. And at first, this line confused me, but then I realized that it's gone down from a 3 to a 2.5 at a ton of spots. This is an EMU team that's 4-1 straight up, 5-0 ATS. The only game they didn't cover, they're 24.5 point dogs against Washington. So I think EMU wins. I think EMU is a team that we can look towards maybe back in to win the MAC, something along those lines. The Rutgers money line in this game. Where do I have this game? I have the game at a -1. I think that line's about correct. Sure, I'll lean Rutgers, I guess. UAB spread in the under. Why in the world would Army be minus 1,000? Yeah, I wanted to back UAB in this game. I'm so tired of fading Army, though. Army has been extremely solid this year, but they've played the Sisters of the Poor is the problem that there for Army. Because their toughest opponent this year may have been Tulsa. Lehigh, FAU, Rice, Temple, Tulsa. And now they get UAB, a 1-4 team. Army looks good, but I mean, you're going to look good when you play BS teams. They play ECU next week at home. I don't think that's a great matchup. AFA has been terrible this year. That should be an easy win for them. I mean, we could be very well looking at an undefeated Army team heading into the November 23rd matchup against Notre Dame. Because they have one of the easiest schedules in all of football. So Pitt Panthers, Yellow Jackets, I'm assuming that's Georgia Tech and West Virginia. Pitt, I think that line's correct with Pitt. I thought it should be around 3.5. Did not move on that game. Georgia Tech against North Carolina. I lean Tar Heels in that game, but I'm so tired of betting the Tar Heels. I lean under the total in that one as well. I know a lot of people look at that Tar Heel team and think they can't play defense, but yet they've played to a bunch of unders this year. And then West Virginia, they play Iowa State at home, 3-point dog. I would lean West Virginia in that game, but not what I'm betting. Head back to the live chat here in this for this. Let's see. Cheers, everyone. Happy betting. Yep. Bama losing again. I see at the very least South Carolina covering. Tennessee minus 14.5. I'm on the opposite side. I'm on Florida, but I'm also on the over. Hawaii unders. I'm on Hawaii plus the points. Mets world champions. I really, really hope so. I would lose my mind if they did. Colorado spread against those Wildcats. I would lean Colorado in the under in that game if I'm looking to bet either side. Ohio State, I'm on Oregon. Ole Miss, I am on Ole Miss. Penn State, I'm on USC. I'm on the Trojans in that spot. I took the 3.5 points in that game. Roll Tide, same game parlay. Bama, Mill wrote anytime touchdown in the over. I do like the over, and I do think South Carolina covers, but Alabama wins. Kentucky Wildcats smash after Vandy upset last week. I kind of lean in that direction. I took the under. I took the under in that spot because everybody just saw Vandy put up 40 against Alabama, ready for this game to be a 20-13 type of game. Wisconsin money line. I lean Rutgers. Wisconsin money line, I lean Rutgers, but not betting it. Washington money line, I did take the points with the Huskies in that one. Lobos in the under. I stayed off that game there. Yes, Rutgers losing. Illinois spread, also lean under. I took the under in that game with Illinois. Air Force money line, good luck. So many people loving that Air Force New Mexico game. Have fun. Any NCAA hockey plays? I don't bet college hockey. I couldn't even tell you anything about college hockey. How about the Cougars of BYU at -3? I'd lean only in that direction at this point, but not betting it. Too many sports on today. A lot of action for today. Absolutely. Lightning and Reg plus Canes under 3.5 and under 6.5 really saved me yesterday. That's a beautiful, beautiful game there for you then. But that is going to do it for this show. Want to thank you guys as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys same time, same place for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. NFL tomorrow. Good luck, guys.